What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bama Lounge podcast. I am your host, Adam Raymer. And again, we start off. I appreciate everybody that tunes in, watches, listens, however you get your podcast. If you're on YouTube now, hit the subscribe, hit the like, send me your comments. I want to respond to them all. Also, when we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to do a little giveaway. So we're about, I don't know, 20 short of it. So once you guys get us over to 100, we're going to give some, we're going to do some cool Bama merch giveaway. So make sure you subscribe, send me a message that you did. That way I know you're good. And we're going to kick it off. So Tennessee Hate Week was uh, was in full effect. This week we had. Uh, Look, everybody always talks about this game, and we hate this week just because if you're a Bama fan, you just don't like the Vols. Um, here's some things that happened for me, and I'm gonna touch on first half first. And here's the thing: the defense looked like shit the first half. We were blowing coverage, we were lined up, they were pointing it out. They were giving up long plays. It wasn't fun to watch them. This game was closer than it should have been in the first half. And, really that what helped us was penalties for Tennessee that kept us to where, some of their drives were shortened or elongated down the field a little bit with all the penalties they had. But overall, just defensively, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not going to say it's the front seven because I think they're playing pretty good with, especially Will Anderson. My God, that guy he is beyond human. Um, he's just everywhere. If I'm willing to bet, he's probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest worker, whether it's in the weight room, on the field, off the field. I think this guy he is something special, and we're seeing it. But that secondary, for some reason, is just not playing right, not playing up to the potential that they should be. And I don't know, we can sit here and say it's coaching and it's Golding. Everybody wants to fire Golding, but look, guys, I've said it before. The players still have to go play, and they have to execute, and they just didn't do that the first half. Now, the second half in defense, we gave up one long play, and it was Josh Jobe got burned down the sideline for a touchdown. But other than that, it was a totally different half. Nick Saban's the king of making second half adjustments. We did. He hates up tempo teams, mobile quarterbacks. And I said this in my pre-show. I said if Hendon Hooker is playing quarterback, he gives them a better chance to win than what Joe Milton did. And look, they were in it for the first, I'd say, three and a half quarters probably. And then we Alabama does what Alabama does, and we kind of broke away a little bit. We got a turnover, which we got a fourth down stop, turnover. I mean, it the defense really made an adjustment in the second half and got after the quarterback a little bit. Look, they didn't run the ball. Again in my preview show, they run the ball for 200, almost 250 yards a game, and I don't know what they ended up with because I'm not looking at stats. Again, this is just instant reaction, but I don't think they had 75 rushing yards tonight. I don't. I don't. I'd be shocked if they did. Um, but through the air, Hooker's not a bad quarterback. We made him look a little better than what. No, again, not down on that kid. I think he's good, but we did make them look a little bit better than what he was with that passing game that they had tonight. Some other things that I think, we had some drop balls. Billingsley, I don't know what's going through his head right now. He's dropping passes. He probably I don't know if it would have been a touchdown, but it would have been a huge gainer. Jameson dropped a ball tonight. Um, a little bit of a surprise. Bryce Young used his legs a little bit tonight. He's still holding on to the ball a little bit too long. I think the O line again is a little shaky still at some points, and I think Bryce holds on to the ball a little bit too long on some occasions. Tries to make too much out of nothing, and but he did use his legs tonight a couple times. Made some of them back linebackers and defensive backs look stupid on some of them jukes that he did. So it was nice to see that. B Rob, another solid game from him. I think he put three in on the ground. Not a lot of yards rushing for him, but um, he put three in on there. Um, Look, it everybody's everybody's mad. They're talking, "Oh my god, it's we're not gonna win a national championship," and I've seen this, and it's like, "Look, guys, we just gotta settle down. We gotta take this one game. Let's not look to a national championship right now. Let's look and see what we have in front of us. Let's take each one. We got a bye week now, right, before LSU. Let's take this time. They need to get better. Everybody needs to improve, and just put in the time, put in the work. We got a good LSU, we got a good game coming up against LSU in a couple of weeks, and let's just learn from it. This season is not over. I still think this team, and I'm biased, obviously, towards Alabama, but this team can still freaking play with everybody. If they're playing to their full potential, we have some of the best athletes on the field. 9 times out of 10, our athletes are better than the other side. And as long as they play their game and do what they're supposed to do, they're gonna be fine. Um, you know, we had some bad things happen. Again, Jamison Williams caught a pass in the red zone and fumbled. And then they turned that, I think they turned that into points. Um, again, how about the blocked punt? You know, and Tennessee scored off that. So they capitalized a little bit when they needed to. And again, we made Hendon Hooker look a little better than what he was, I think. Like I said, nothing against that kid. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. And props to Josh Heupel in Tennessee. You're not going to hear me say this much, but those guys were supposed to be a dumpster fire, I think. And he took a team that, is thin, 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 got a lot of young kids, don't have a lot of depth. And I mean, they're 4-4. They probably could be technically a little bit better than they are. They've lost some close games. Um, and look, they were a high powered offense, up tempo. They were averaging, I can't remember what it was, but it was something like 45 points a game and around the same amount of yardage that we do. Um, but I think tonight they only had, I don't know, somewhere in the 350 to 380 range, and I think we were over 500 again. Not looking at stats, that'll come out on my 48 hours after. But you know, it was it was one of those games, guys, where at the beginning in the first half, I was wanting to throw my remote at my TV and break it, calm down a little bit. And second half came out. They didn't start off very good in the second half, but they got their rhythm. They got their rhythm on defense and offense and played Alabama football. So I don't know, it's Tennessee. There's certain games every year that we always talk about, and I know, and it ended up being a blowout. We won by 28, you know, so 52-24 final score. A win is a win. I know that we do have to fix some things. Look, some of the play calling on offense too by Bill O'Brien is not the greatest, but those guys still got to go out there and execute. Some of the play calling on defense by Pete Goling is not great. Those kids again still have to go out and execute. So they're gonna take let's hope they take this bye week that's coming up. We got the win, right? Today in college football, guys, was a weird day. There was, Oklahoma about lost to Kansas. Penn State goes down. Georgia was idle this week. Cincinnati barely beat Army or Navy, one of them two. I think it was Navy, maybe. So a lot of things happening. Again, this season is not over, guys. Just because we didn't play good in a half, um, doesn't mean, oh my God, the world's coming crashing down on Alabama football. It's not going to happen. We're going to play. We're going to keep winning. Everybody stay positive. Stay up on this team. It's it's roll tide till we die. And that's how it needs to be. So again, it was another good win. It was a good win for the team. Um, takes us to what, 6-1, 7-1 now. And look, all we gotta do, guys, is run the table, right? Easier said than done. But let's run the table. Let's get to Atlanta. Again, I don't want to look that far ahead, but let's take it one game at a time. We're gonna take this bye week. I'm gonna do a pretty cool show, maybe a couple in the middle of next week since we're on a bye week. I'm gonna look around the NFL, I think, and talk about Bama in the NFL. So stay tuned for that. Again, uh, we've got 48 hours after episode probably coming out Monday evening. While get more into statistics on this game from Tennessee and kind of go over what happened in a little more detail. But this again is just an instant reaction to what happened. And again, great win by our Tide 52-24 against the Vols. If you guys haven't already, please hit the subscribe, hit the share button. I don't know if there's a share button on YouTube. If you can, I don't care. Tell somebody about it. Hit hit a comment up. Send me your comments. I love interacting with everybody. Again, don't forget about the subscriber goal. Once we get to 100, I am going to personally send out some merch to whoever. It's going to be a random thing, but once we get to that, it has to be one of the subscribers. Once we get to 100, I'm going to send out some Bama merch to whoever is randomly selected. So that's it for the instant reaction, guys. I will see you guys probably again, like I said, on Monday with the 48 hours after episode. And we all know I end it just like this every show. Roll damn tide.